Okay, here we go. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to slip the first stitch. Now I'm slipping it straight across because I'm not doing a knit or purl, because I don't do that, but I'm going to do this is all going to be garter when I come back. So, and I want my leading leg in back when I come back, so I'm knitting accordingly. So let me get to the end of this row and I will show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm coming to the end of my first row that's going to be my kickoff for my garter. So I'm doing everything as if I'm going to do garter. And here is the last stitch. I always knit the last stitch and I always wrap my yarn like this. Now you don't need to. You can do this, but then when you switch the stitch from one needle to the other, you're going to have to change them out, and I'd rather do it here than change them out. So I'm going to turn my work and and I'm going to slip this one, and it will be, I knit continental combined, so I like my leading leg and back. When I come back to this stitch, this will be the leading leg and it will be in back because I'll have turned my work. So that's how I do that. Now I'm gonna knit all the way across because this is garter, and I will show you I do exactly the same thing at the other end. Now this is the way my edge comes out. Isn't it pretty? It is so pretty. It looks so nice. So let me knit all the way to the other end and I'll repeat it for you. All right, here I am. I'm at my last two stitches. I'm going to knit, and of course I'm wrapping this way because I always wrap that way. Now when I turn, do you see? That's not the best way to explain it. Okay, so when I turn, now I'm on the purl side. So what I have to do is I have to make sure I bring my yarn to the purl side before I slip this stitch across. And when I do that, I'm going to put this right back on the needle. Can you see I preserved my nice edge right there? If I don't do that, let me back this up and show you what happens if I don't do that. If I just put my yarn in the back, it pulls that purl stitch around to the outside edge. You see that? Now that is going to be my outside edge, and I don't want that. So what I'll do is I'll put my yarn on the purl bump side of the needle, and I'll slip it, and then when I come back I've got that beautiful edge. So I'm going to go to the other end and I'm going to show you again. Okay, so I'm back to the other end, and I'm going to knit all the way to the end. I'm going to turn my work. See, there's that purl bump right there. If I slip like this, I'm going to have that purl bump. It's going to look just like this. See that purl bump at the end? Now, if this happens to you, you can fix it. You don't have to leave it like this. If you forget on your first row, you don't have to leave it like that. If you tink down and undo this, move that yarn behind the stitch. Now see, I have a twist in it. I don't want to have a twist in it, so I'm going to untwist it. I'm going to put it on there, and then I'm going to put it back on the needle, and I'm going to, let me change direction so you can see it from a non-ambidextrous perspective. So here we go. We're going to knit that. And there, I fixed it. You see it's all fixed? So now if I move this stitch over and knit off, see I've got my yarn in front. See that? I got my yarn in front. Now I'm going to have that nice edge again because I fixed it. So I'm going to show you just one more time because I know the other end should look good. Hang on just a sec. Okay, here we are back at the other end. I'm going to knit to the end and turn. See, my end looks good. Going to turn, and because I am now on a purl side row, I'm going to put my yarn in front, slip that stitch, and I'm going to knit off. So the whole point of this is anytime you're facing a purl row, or anytime a purl row is facing you, make sure you put your yarn in front when you slip, and you'll get that edge. It looks awesome. Okay, I hope that helps.